Hannah, hi, Jim Delapine here. I want to give you some video feedback on this, and this is looking great. However, I really appreciate the fact that you put shadows in here. No one thinks to do that. The only issue is that they're not, they should be on their own layers. So, for example, this one is lacking a layer mask. For example, you paint it directly on the image, which is not good. So I'll show you how we can fix that. First of all, these three layers without layer masks you need to not use. Okay, we're going to start over with this. What I want you to do is simply create duplicates of this one and use this. So what you can do is simply, um, with this layer active, hit Control or Command J. That will duplicate the layer. And then with that copy layer, just bring that down. Whoops. Let's see here. Let's lock the underlying one so that the copy layer, which is on top, actually this should be below this. So now you can do that and then hit Control T. And for variation, I would rotate that and then scale that down. So click on any corner as you're dragging Shift. Hold down Shift and Alt, and that will scale it into the center point. Okay, so then, in this case, I'm going to hide that shadow. All right, we'll hit Enter, and then we'll duplicate that, Control J, bring that down to underneath that previous one, and I'm going to lock that one. And now with the body copy 2 layer active, I'll do that, and hit Control T, rotate that, and scale that in. Now, I'm actually going to hide that other. You rotate that just for variation. Okay. So let's talk about how to create shadows. So with this layer active here, let me unlock these. And then you can continue on and then place your elements, your connecting elements. And this is a good idea, by the way. I like that. So this is, um, you can actually reduce and scale this down, rotate this, and place it accordingly. Okay, so if you want a shadow thrown onto this baseball here, all right, what you're going to do is you would create a new layer above it. All right, Control or Command click on the layer mask for the underlying layer to put a selection around that. That will keep any painting or editing inside that selection. Then you're going to go to your paintbrush tool, and I'm going to select a middle hardness for the paintbrush. Let's start with 0% hardness, okay? And then I'm going to click on the foreground color and select a medium gray. Just click and drag along here, okay? And then hit OK. All right? I know it sounds odd, medium gray, but now with your paintbrush active, a little shortcut here. To increase and decrease the size of your paintbrush, you're going to click the right bracket key on your keyboard or the left bracket key. Right bracket key to increase, left bracket key to decrease. All right, and now what you want to do is kind of, you need to be an artist here. You need to paint in where you think a shadow would go. So you have to consider the light source. In this case, we're rotating the baseball, so let's just forget about the light source. We want this to look pretty good. All right, so I'm going to increase my brush. Okay, so now it looks funky, right? So, but now what we're going to do is put this into multiply mode. All right, multiply is a true shadow, and it affects the pixels in the underlying layer, as opposed to putting black and then lowering the transparency. It's just like lessening the transparency, and it makes it muddy. This is a truer shadow, but in most cases it will look the same. Okay, so you can kind of fudge this accordingly. All right, you can lower the opacity if you feel it's too dark, and notice that it gives you creative control because you have that isolated to its own layer. Okay, so that's how you would really create shadows. Okay, keep them on their own layers, and we want to make these elements look like they're connecting to. Let's see, I brought this above here. Whoops, I forgot to deselect. So we want this to look like it's going inside the ball, and we'll bring this right arm above wherever that is, the body. All right. Yeah, you painted on this image too. All right, so let's just say you wanted this coming out of, we want it to look like it's coming out of the baseball. So what you would do is paint on the layer mask. So I'll go back to my paintbrush tool, but this time I'm going to make it 100% hardness, and I'm going to decrease my brush size, left bracket key, make sure black is the foreground color, and on the layer mask, wherever I paint, it will hide that part. All right, so we really wanted to make it look like it's coming out of the baseball. So that means a shadow would be created onto the baseball from the arm. All right, this part here, you need to kind of, I don't know what to do about this. I'm going to select the image. I mean, you could, all right, I'm going to work with the clone tool. This is really not the way to do this. Let me try something different. I'm going to lock the transparent portion of this layer. That means the transparent portion is protected. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to do that because of the layer mask. So I'm going to put a selection around what I want to edit, which is this shadow part here. All right. Then I'm going to hit Shift F5. That brings up the fill option. By default, it says content aware. I'm going to hit OK. That worked pretty good. All right. I would say to try it on this baseball, but I bet this won't work. All right. Let's say you wanted to get rid of this shadow, which you should. But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. So to make this look like it's going to the baseball, you need to have these fine lines here, like shadow lines. You have to observe how things, and have to imagine what it would look like going into a baseball. So that means I'm going to hit D for my default black fill, white background. Go to my paintbrush, get a small paintbrush size, and again, I'm going to isolate this to its own layer. Okay, so I'm going to create a new layer above the right arm. I'm going to control click on the right arm layer mask thumbnail to make a selection, because I want this to be contained inside the selection. Then with that new layer active, I'm going to zoom in. Here's another little trick. If I hit Control H, I'm hiding the selection, but it's still active. Okay, so now whenever I paint, it's staying inside that selection. All right, let me undo that. So now I'm going to simply click and freehand click along here to kind of make it look like it's shadows, and you have to be too careful with it. All right, this kind of may help a little bit. All right, in this case, I would kind of hide this. So with the layer mask, I'm going to paint right where the string comes down, and let me delete that. Okay, you want it to, you have to kind of imagine what it would look like. So maybe this shape is not correct. All right, so now it's starting to look like that. You know, it looks like there's a shadow in there. Actually, I really don't like that. But now a shadow would be thrown underneath the arm onto the baseball, and the same method you used for this. Okay, keep everything on its own layers. Do the same thing here. Little shadow underneath here, and I hope that helped. All right, so also you want to kind of try to stay contained in the 6 by 8 inch area. So you may want to take these baseballs and like curl them around so that it kind of looks like it's kind of going back into the image instead of down here, how you had it. All right, I hope that helped. Take care. Bye.